What's good, everybody? It's Blackout Survival Prepping. We are back planning your 2026 fall garden. All right. So this is early August, not quite yet the mid of the month yet, and so we're gonna get started on planting our fall garden and some of our winter gardens. So we're gonna clean it up and show you how you can get your garden planted. Now, I've got my bug spray on me to keep it off. Hopefully you've seen that video. If not, make sure you check it out. It's going to keep those insects off of you while you're trying to work outside in your garden. So this is our upper garden, and first thing we want to do is we were growing corn up here, corn, squash. There's still some beans down here. So as you see, I've been pulling this out. So my corn plants, hopefully you've seen my other video on that strong tornado winds coming down through here and just blowing this stuff right over. So clearing all this out and getting it already ready for the next set of garden. Now, if you listen, you'll hear the next storms blowing in. Let's get a shot of that as it comes over that mountain there. So we get storms, I guess, over the last 4 to 5 years. It's been really heavy late summer, and those heavy rains just really cause a lot of damage. Doing a tiered garden, that allows for drainage. It allows for all type of beneficial things for your plants, kind of wind blockage and stuff like that. Now, in my case, it didn't work with those big, strong, powerful winds, but for your average lowlander and average wind speed, it's really a great way of doing it. So let's come on through here. As I pull out some of my old corn, it doesn't have any mature cobs or anything on there. I just throw that over there in my sheet. And as you see, so we've got the first set of things ready to plant. So I'm gonna dig in my pocket there. Let's see what kind of seeds we got here. We typically use our leftover seeds for the most part. There are some seeds I've been trying out lately. I will go ahead and give a shout out to House Seeds. I've tried some of their seeds, man. They got some good seeds, and just seem like great people as well. So if you want to check them out, I will also have seeds for you that I reproduce. We use our seeds mostly for ourselves. But I'm starting to get a nice little batch built up. So as we do this YouTube channel, we will have a website where we'll have some of our seeds up there. I've also been selling mountain rock, granite, lumber. All right, so let's come on in here, and we're gonna plant some broccoli and cabbage really quick. Okay, so what I do is I try to grow a lot of what we eat, a lot of that way we store it and we can put it up and eat it throughout the year. That way it'll last us from growing season to growing season. Cannot wait to show you how I use mini greenhouses instead of one giant greenhouse to keep my stuff growing even through the winter time. So that's going to be great. Like I said, we are a new channel. We just started actually making these videos. Hopefully you've had a chance to see my other video on the 8,000 hours. YouTube just started a new program. So please be sure you check out these videos all the way through. As you see, I don't spend a lot of time doing editing or putting together, Hollywood level YouTube videos. Hey, depending on how many subscribers we can get and how much information we can put out there, we'll look at that type of stuff. But for right now, we're just showing you how to grow some things. So let's get this broccoli into the ground. Now, I'm going to explain something to you really quick. So this thing is tiered, right? So I know if you can get a shot here, this first row, I know how my sun is going to hit these rows, and I know which rows are going to grow higher than others just because of how I've been growing for the last couple of years. So on these lower rows, I'm going to put in some of my plants that are going to grow taller, okay? So I'm gonna start with my broccoli, and I'm gonna be very generous with this, because I am growing outdoors in ground. Okay, all of my gardens are fenced off because I have a lot of deer and rabbit and squirrel and all type of forest animals. Okay, so with this broccoli, I'm gonna use my fingertips just because I'm gonna do this stuff fast. So I'm spreading my fingers out because I'm gonna give it that type of spacing. Planting this really tightly close. If you've watched my other videos on how to plant beans, how to plant squash and cucumbers, it's kind of all the same method. Now, that's just how I grow. I grow differently than most people, okay? Even though I have some land to work with, I'm still growing kind of tight because I'm in the mountains, and so I've got to keep my certain areas closer together to protect them from animals and stuff like that. Also growing in a survival garden mode, so I spread my gardens out, so I grow a little bit differently. All right, so what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna take these and I'm gonna drop them right where I made my finger holes, okay? And then what I'll do is later I will come back and thin these out, because some of them won't make it, some of them will get eaten. You know, that's just the nature of growing your food. Now, that's my first plot right in there. And then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna do an additional row behind that. And then I'm just gonna thin it out as I go. Okay. So I've got that one. Then I'm gonna do the same thing right behind it. You'll see that there's a trench already down in there. But again, I'm doing this because I don't quite know how that's gonna grow. And we'll see. Remember, whatever comes up, I just thin it back out. And then that way, I'm gonna get me a good harvest. Just in this row alone, I should get a good 10 to 15 broccoli plants. Okay. And that's just out of this one row, which is about, I'm gonna say this is probably about 6 feet long. All right. One row down. Let's dig into our magic pocket and see which is the next brassica that we're gonna grow here. As you see, I still got some corn up. I still got a few tomato plants up. I don't know if I dropped the video yet on how to grow your tomatoes, but we do have that coming. It's not already up there. We do have a lot of videos, so make sure you check those out. Okay, what I'm looking for now is some Brussels sprouts. We're going to grow a lot of Brussels sprouts. Okay. With these seeds, these are seeds I think I got online probably about 3 or 4 years ago. If these don't come up, I won't be surprised. But I want to use some of these older seeds that I have. All right, doing the same thing. Using my fingertips. I'm going to show you how these come up. It's not a whole lot of rocket science behind this. It's just making sure you grow the right crops during the right season. Now, Brussels sprouts take a while to grow. All right, they take, I think, 120 days. So I've only successfully grown these about 3 times since I started doing this. And I think the main reason why is because of our temperature fluctuations. Up here, we can go from 20-degree swings in one day. Okay, so with that, I have to just try different times of the year and also different locations. This is my first time growing Brussels at this higher elevation Okay, so this is probably about 60 feet higher than my lower garden. So I'm gonna see if that makes any difference. I'm gonna see if the sunlight, the way the sunlight hits this, I'm gonna see if that makes any difference. So that's gonna be my first time growing Brussels sprouts up here at this elevation, this part of my property. We'll see what happens. But I'm not gonna stop trying until I can do it again. I grew my last Brussels sprouts in my lower garden, and man, those things are really good. If you've never had Brussels sprouts, you gotta try it. They're like baby cabbages, but the way you cook them, we cook them all kind of different ways, and we're gonna show you guys how to prepare these meals that you grow. Okay, if you're not a vegetable eating or liking person, then think about this. Maybe you're just not cooking it the right way. Okay, these Brussels, man, when you saute those things in a skillet, and you don't even have to use like a lot of unhealthy fats and stuff like that. You can do it with olive oil and stuff of that nature. Okay, you probably seen how I ran my hands through that. You want to pick out any loose, things that might stop it from pushing through the soil. I've been working this soil for a while, so that's gonna go pretty smooth. All right, let's look at this next row really quick. All right, so what we got so far? We got broccoli, we got Brussels. Now in these plots, what you see I'm dealing with here. Eventually these rocks will work themselves out, but I'm dealing with some pretty big rocks, which also helped me out, because sometimes if you get over here, I'll leave a giant hole for an intruder. Survival garden, somebody who shouldn't be in here, they hit that hole and whoo boy. And you have to remember where you put stuff, because if you step in it, you're done for yourself. Now I want to try this house. I'm gonna try the cauliflower, because I love getting into different colors. So we're gonna try this purple graffiti cauliflower. That's from Haas. This is not a paid advertisement. It's just like I said, they seem to be great people, and they have a great operation. So I'm gonna try their stuff. And I definitely like to support people who are, trying to help others and making a living for themselves is along the way. All right, so this purple, we're just gonna put it in here, see what happens. Okay, and spread this out a little bit, because I know how big the heads get, and these babies should come up. Okay, so put that in there. See what happens. I got one more. Let's do a double and see what happens. Any little rocks and stuff like that I see in there, I'll just throw those out. All right, so we put the purple down. All right, let's put this. Here's the next hot seed that we have. It's a Minuteman cauliflower. So let's try this out. In fact, we'll put this all in the rest of the row. Just see what happens. That's pretty good. Stupid gnat just tried to fly in my eyeball. Like I said, this Ed Murphy stuff, man. Like I said, no paid advertisement. That's some good stuff. I used to not be able to come out here without a net on my head. All right, so I'm just gonna make me a few little holes there. So in this middle part, I'm gonna try some Minuteman cauliflower. Put me a few little seeds in there. Drop it in them holes I made. Like I said, this is tough. It don't gotta be perfect. Like I used to try to do this stuff like perfect spacing and all that. Like it don't even take all that, man. This stuff, if it's gonna grow for you, it's gonna grow. And one of the other beautiful things about growing stuff is, like, sometimes your stuff might not even come up that season. It might come up the next season. You're like, man, I knew I planted blah blah blah, and it just might not come up till next season. All kind of crazy stuff happens when you're growing stuff. It's just really cool. Growing and gardening, to me, I've got some of this extra. I'm just gonna put it over here. gonna try something else, but we'll just do that. That's the great thing about gardening is there's really no mistakes. It's kind of like art. You just put it in the ground. Let's see what happens. And then when you plant multiple things with other things, like wow, man, some things you wouldn't even know can grow together. In fact, what we may do is do a salad base on that. Let's do that. Let's put a salad base down. Do I have any salad on me? So what I mean by that is the base of this thing will be, yeah, I got some salad. It'll be a salad. If you've seen some of my previous videos, you'll see how I have different things growing in my raised beds. You can grow a bunch of different stuff together. I'm gonna put some salad down. It's gonna be some lettuce. Lettuce, it won't grow in the summertime, but we're gonna see if this will come up and just provide some weed coverage on the base, if that makes any sense. I can simply just sprinkle it in there. It's gonna rain today, so that's gonna help knock it on down in there. I'm gonna put this on the back side. Give us a little bit of lettuce going on up here, see what happens. Okay. The reason I can do this on this broccoli and this Brussels sprouts is because they're gonna grow up on the stem. So it's gonna come up. It's gonna come up out the ground. The stem is. The broccoli down here, sometimes it'll sit down and curl over. I'll show you down there. But it's gonna be a stem. The head is gonna go up. The lettuce is gonna grow up around it and provide a base. So we'll come back and look at that, see how that looks going through the fall. All right. Let's get back to what we were doing here. We put in some cauliflower, and that's gonna grow out into a kind of a, not a bush, but you know, it's gonna have a head on it. So I'm not gonna put anything down with that. But what I am gonna do is I'm gonna put some more broccoli up here. So let's get some more broccoli, and then I'm gonna put some spinach down with that broccoli. All right, so I've got my spinach, which is some Morehouse seeds. That's some Sun Angel spinach. Okay. And then put this broccoli down. Here's some broccoli I've had for a while. Let's put it down. A few rocks. Now I came up here the other day and started busting this out because again, don't want to bore you guys with how to clean this up, but as we walk out of here, I'm going to show you how you can clean your property now. If you can catch this here, see, I know I got me another system of rock up under there, right? So I can get this out at a later time. Right now, I just want to get my food in the ground, okay? So I'm just going around that, okay? Got my raised bed going up, all right? Okay, let's put my seed in there. It's my more broccoli seed. Okay. Again, this is tiered garden. Got my broccoli seed going in there. I'll come back later, thin it out. Okay. Now I'm going to surround the base of it with some spinach. See what happens. Do I want to do the whole thing? Tell you what I'm gonna do. Okay, hang tight. We're gonna go ahead and put some of this in, because I'm gonna go ahead and use as much of this as I can. So I'm gonna put me some spinach here on the side. As you see, I'm making more holes. That's gonna go down in that trench, and that's perfectly fine. Not a problem, because I'm gonna knock some of that soil over, come back through, drop me some spinach in there. Okay, that's simple. Then I'm gonna have me some spinach. I'll make some spinach patches and show you how you do some spinach patches. Okay. Hey, got that in the ground. Now let's start covering everything up. Okay, covered. As I go through there, covering them, pulling some of those old root systems out of there. Again, doesn't have to be perfect because this stuff still grows, man. The weather beats it down, the rain beats it down in there. Just pretty amazing. It's just how God created it all. All right. Let's get that stuff down in there. We'll probably be able to show you some results here in about 2 weeks. Should have some nice heads coming up. I can show you down in the other gardens. All right, I have a whole handful of, not a handful, but let's come this way. Yep, let's swing around here. Now, as you see, we'll get just a quick shot of the tomatoes there. The red burgundy okra, regular okra's coming in real good. All right, out here, very bottom, okay, I've got other patches going in of stuff. And I'm not sure. Let's do some, we're gonna do some spinach patches. Okay, so I'm just gonna drop me a few spinach seeds down in there. Okay, cover that up, push them down in there. Say real quick, just gonna let nature do its thing. Okay, that'll push that in there. Okay, let's go back this way. All right, so we've got first little part of the fall garden planted up on this upper row. Okay, that's gonna give me a good amount of broccoli, good amount of cauliflower, good amount of Brussels sprouts just up here. Now, what I'm gonna do in 2 weeks, let's come on down through here. I'm gonna come through with my weed eater, and I'm gonna clear all of this out. Okay, I'm gonna clear all of this out. And when I clear this out, I'll create another probably 10 by 10 area, and I'll plant another additional broccoli, cauliflower, and Brussels sprout area up here just to keep it rolling. It'll be succession planted. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to move down to, I think, the second lower garden, and we're going to get it planted. So that area receives a different amount of sunlight, different hours of sunlight, even different amount of rain, just because it's got some overstory. So let's move down there, and then all right, so now we have the upper part of our garden planted with what we want over there. Let's get ready to head down to the lower part. As we're walking out again, I'm gonna come back through, weed eat all this out. We'll create a separate section, probably about maybe 30 feet by about 10 feet, something like that. I'll pull the rest of this out of here, and we'll start this part in about 2 to 3 weeks from now. So it'll be end of August when we'll start this part. Again, with the weather variations that we get, that's just how it goes sometimes. Still got a little bit of corn that might do a little something. Not really. We'll give this to the baby chickens. All right, so let's go down to the lower gardens, and we'll show you how we're going to plant that down there. All right, so we have made it down into the second garden. Also, if you've watched my previous video, how to grow potatoes. Now, I shot that one in a weird fashion because I was kind of filming it myself. Thank God my wife is here to help me film this one. Okay, so if you haven't, just make sure you check that out. So if you catch this, you'll see my potatoes, in-ground potatoes have different kinds of growing, but they're already in. We'll be pulling those probably end of August. These are some of the earlier ones, and then I'll reuse that area. But right now we're gonna plant some cabbage here. Okay, so I got 2 shorter rows, and this ought to get me 3 good heads of cabbage plants. Same thing here, 3 good heads of cabbage plants. Okay, so I do the same thing. Then I'm gonna take my seeds, and I'm just gonna spread them out. You know, put it down in that little trench. I pre-dug this area yesterday because we had rain coming. So whenever I know we have rain coming, which is pretty much every day, late July into August. Okay, so anyway, I got my cabbage in there. What I do is I'll pre-make my rows and let the rain kind of beat it down a little bit and get it set in place. Because the rain is really what's going to set your ground in place when you're burying in ground. Okay, I had a little bit of grass there. Let's take it, throw it out. Not gonna hurt anything. Okay, I'm just keep it clear so that seed can take place. These things, I think they take either 60 or 90 days. I believe it's 90 to be honest with you. But before it gets cold here, that should set in real good. All right, same thing. We're gonna cover this up. Have it mounded pretty high because I want these things to sit up. That way they drain. And like I said, the rain will beat that down. Okay. Now again, I'm succession planting. That means that hopefully these will come up at different times. All right, we're gonna plant some more broccoli down here, okay? Whole different area. I've got onions growing down through there. Hopefully you've had a chance to see my video on how to grow onions. Gonna look through here and find me some broccoli. I'll tell you what, whichever one I come to first, broccoli or Brussels. I wanna put one of those down here. And it's gonna be broccoli. All right, so we're gonna plant us some broccoli down here and get that coming up. All right, so we're gonna put a row of broccoli up front. Okay, it's gonna be my first time growing the broccoli near the onions. Okay, we're gonna see what happens. Hopefully it provides a little pest protection. We shall see. We shall find out. The beauty of growing things. Put it right down through that row. Okay. Got that sprinkled in. We're gonna cover it up there. Very simple. Covered up. My little one is having a blast over there. So we have another row of broccoli in there. It's gonna be super interesting to see what this looks like. One of the things about in-ground gardening is every year, every season, you can change your layout pattern. Things that were in one row.
All right, let's get a different angle on this thing, okay? So you see I've got my rows and they're inside of my second lower garden that's already planted. But again, succession planting, that's gonna be key. Succession planting is gonna be key to you getting your food to produce for you year round. Okay, we're gonna see what this second garden does, okay? So inside of here, this row here, I have now planted kohlrabi, broccoli, and Brussels, okay? So I'm going to just cover these rows up. Let's back out of there a little bit. I'm just gonna cover them up. Got it planted, and you know, you just kind of make that soil fine. Now while I'm doing this, I'm gonna kind of tell you about some of the benefits. The kohlrabi plant, I wasn't familiar with that thing, you know, until I started gardening.
you know, pretty hardcore. It's a versatile plant, man. You can do all type of things with it. Kohlrabi, it's got like a purplish tint to it. Any of your plants that have that purplish color, man, that's some good antioxidant properties. Okay, you really want to get that good color in your system, man. It's really good for you. Now, you can do a lot of different things with kohlrabi too. We've used it for things that you can make with potatoes, okay? And it doesn't taste the same as a potato, but very kind of similar. If you were gonna compare a plant to it, okay? But it's real versatile, and it'd be a good option for some of you people who can't eat potatoes, okay? Kohlrabi plant, okay? I told you about broccoli, and I told you why we grow. All right, let's flip this thing around. Okay, boy, excuse me, I am filthy. Okay, so we're going to do the interplanting. Now on this row, what we're going to do is we're going to do straight Brussels sprouts again. Like I said, I want to know how this grows up here. Okay. Once again, this time I've got my straight Brussels. These are straight Brussels seeds. See, I made a trench for those, and I'm just gonna sprinkle them down in there. Okay. Again, reason being is I'm in a rural location. There's a lot of animals out here. Okay. So I want to give myself the best chance possible to get a nice harvest of Brussels sprouts, because I know that some of them are gonna get eaten. Okay, I'm gonna actually do it out of my tablet, not tablet, but out of my little pouch there. Okay, just sprinkle those in there. All right, so we've got those in there. I'm just gonna cover them up. And again, you're gonna be amazed with how these things grow, the results, depending on the location, the timing, and all of that good stuff. Okay, just throw out the excess. This is how you, as a small homesteader, can grow enough food for your family to last you all year round. You've got to succession plant, and you've got to just grow a bunch of it. Okay, get all the excess out of there. I'm showing you in real time. This is in real time how quick and easy it is for you to plant yourself a survival garden, a garden to eat off of. All right, so I've got about this is inside of a garden. Okay, a garden inside of a garden, but fall garden that I just planted in my second garden. Inside of this garden that's gonna keep producing for me all the way. Like I said, I've already got potatoes in here. I've got squash in here. Let's move on around. Again, I've got onions in here. We just planted the broccoli. You'll just watch me do the broccoli. Okay, I've even got some tomatoes over there. Okay, now in this lower area, okay, I'm cleaning this bed out, and then when I clean this bed out, I've actually already put in some Swiss chard, some spinach, because it'll grow underneath that. I'm just going to pull all that out of there. Okay, survival garden. I mean, you don't spend a whole lot of time on this. Okay, this is going to be close to an hour video. Close to an hour video to show you guys how to plant your garden. I want to say what we've
plant it in about an hour's time. I'm gonna say it's probably about a little bit under half an acre of garden. Okay, I have about a total of an acre of a garden, and that's, like I said, it's split up. It takes me about 2 weeks each season to plant the whole thing. I'm planting it all by hand. Okay, so let's keep going. We're gonna go plant the third section. Okay, so let's walk and do that, and we'll film a little bit on. Let's flip the camera there. We're gonna go out of here. You'll notice my fencing, it's just enough to keep out rabbits and deer. The deer aren't gonna come on this side because I have my dogs right behind there. Okay, we'll go through our peach trees. Man, they're looking beautiful this time of the year. Okay, we got blueberry section. All right, we're gonna make our way over. We're gonna show you guys how to collect them seeds. Next section coming up. Okay, carrots, potatoes. Make sure you watch them videos. All right, what's good, everybody? We made it back to the next section of the garden. Okay, so we're gonna keep planting. All right, let's flip the camera. All right, so over here, okay, we've got, if you watch my video on how to grow green beans, okay, if you haven't watched it, make sure you watch it, okay. Over in this section, what we're gonna do is we're gonna go ahead and get some cauliflower growing over on this side, okay, succession plant. So I'm gonna make me some holes right down the middle, even though I got some stuff growing already. I'm getting my next set ready over here. So just put them in there, cover them right back up. Just gonna make sure they come up, okay? Got my next set of cauliflower ready to do something. All right. So even though I have beans growing in here, that cauliflower, by the time it comes up good, these beans will be coming out of there and I'll be good to go, okay? So I've got my next row ready. And inside this row, we're gonna do more Brussels because this area, as you can see, it gets a different set of sunlight. So part of succession planting, strategic plant location, make sure you watch that video. You're gonna see how I utilize overstory, okay, even understory, even my vining plants to help with different aspects of sunlight and how it gets into the garden, okay? Make sure you watch the videos. I'm showing you how to do this stuff in all the videos. You know, I'll get more professional with the videos, but for now, we're just trying to grow some food, okay? So I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna sprinkle it, okay? This could be a little wasteful, but not really, because you just save your own seeds. You can buy the little seed packs off of Amazon, okay? Get them little seed packs off of Amazon, and then you just save your seed. And after you save your seed, then you just grow more. Okay, so I got some broccoli in there. Some Brussels in there. I got me another broccoli, so I'm gonna put Brussels on one half, and then I'm gonna put broccoli on the other, because I kind of want to see how the sun is affecting this and how it's gonna grow. Okay, tiered gardening system. Okay, we're gonna go with broccoli from here over. Okay, I'll come back and thin those out. I tell you what, boy, moving dirt and moving the earth is something else. It's amazing how much weight just
this one little bed area has in moving this with your hands. That's what I'm telling you, boy. Don't wait till you get older to start doing this. You better start while you young. I'm telling you. At the end of the day, boy, my hands, I'm telling you, you feel it in your hands, you feel it in your back, you feel it in your knees. It's a price to pay for everything, boy, to get this good old sustenance out the ground. You gonna pay for it. But it's worth it. You know what I'm saying? All right, it's definitely worth it. Make sure you subscribe. You know what I'm saying? We gotta get these numbers up so we can get into them good conversations. All right, let's flip the camera. Okay. We're gonna plant this side. We got broccoli Brussels over here. We're gonna put more brassicas in, more fall crops. I'll show you how this stuff grows tiered on the mountainside. Okay. Show you how to grow enough food for you and your family. All right. We're gonna grow some cabbage on this side and some broccoli on this side. We're gonna see what happens. Okay, just getting that seed pack ready.